What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Want to thank my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down in the description. Also, talk a lot about my Glance LED, and you guys are buying these things just about every week. Somebody is buying another unit. Will change the way you watch sports. Will be one of the coolest things you have in your home. See there, bottom left-hand side of your screen, real-time updates, NFL, NBA, NHL, NCAA, NASCAR, UFC, you name it. It does it. No monthly fee. You just tell it what you want it to show you, and at a glance, it will. MLB The Show 24. I normally pre-order this game this year. I didn't because I don't feel like they earned my money. Now, they did make improvements to the game. Okay, one of the biggest ones here, go through kind of a gradation, is the lighting, the shading, the atmosphere, the skyline. And I got to say, it does make the game look better. When you're playing the game, it looks different. And I've got on EA about this in the past that, just adding in brighter colors, adding in different textures doesn't change the game at all, but it makes us feel like we're playing a different game because visually we're seeing something that contrasts years past. To that point, they had really struggled with the Orioles in terms of likenesses. Gunnar Henderson had not properly, in my opinion, been in the game. He is in the game now, kind of that claymation look in this game. So you don't really have those real, like almost photo images of the players like we see in Madden. But to me, they do a decent enough job. But one thing I want to point out here is they have not put Kyle Bradish in this game. And Kyle Bradish is a top pitcher in the AL. If you actually go get the Topps cards for this year, he is listed as the number 3 pitcher, and we still don't have him in the game, despite them making changes to his number to allow Corbin Burns to wear the number he had been wearing. It's just kind of one of those things that irritates you, that your starting pitcher is not in the game properly. Now, as far as gameplay improvements, are they there? Yes. You can notably see a difference in the infield, right? When you watch these players react, there is possibly the same animations, but crisper, more responsive, and not just against you, but when you are playing as well. So to give you an example there, you saw Westberg thrown out on the ball hit to the shortstop. I'm going to do the same exact thing here with Adley, but I'm going to get the ball just a little bit over, and then now the shortstop can't get to it. Both of them look very fluid, very realistic, and it really does look great. Any way you look at these plays, you see Mountcastle here hits one a little bit closer, right over to the first baseman. The visual quality of these animations is beyond anything we see in really any other sports game. Just to go through a couple double plays here to show you how clean these are, it's so seamless to go from one to the other. I can break down these plays all day, but I just wanted to show you guys in sequence some of these scenarios playing out. But you can really tell when playing the game, the feel of the game has changed. Whether you're getting one on the opposite side or the near side, the game just does play better. Now, sometimes you don't have the response from players that you'd like to see as an emotion standpoint. You also see here, you kind of have the umpire right in the way. This has kind of happened to me in a couple of games where things are there that shouldn't be there. But everything else, I mean, the pitcher is running over, the umpire's in the proper position, the slide is going to happen here to try to disrupt the throw. It's kind of throwing sidearm. It really is a great play. Now, one of the issues that I've talked about before that is not fixed, and again, there you just see the emotion probably could be better, is players that get hit by pitches that do not register. So here I am, Jorge Mateo against, I believe, Sandoval, and he's throwing way outside. And I've noticed the pitch variation from the computer is kind of exaggerated this year. They throw way outside, way inside, as you're about to see. And as this ball came in, I said to myself, how did that not hit me? It fell right at my knees. I actually paused the game, and I will say, kind of the readability, if you will, of some of those logos and images with the new font they're using and the bright pink that they have is just strange. But to me, that ball clearly hit Jorge Mateo, and that should have been a walk. And why it wasn't, why it hasn't been, I don't know, but it's an issue this game has. But to kind of bring everything full circle, again, for years, I've pre ordered this game, I paid for this game, I paid for the privilege to play the game 3 days early, even though it was on Game Pass. And this was the year, if you follow my content, I did not have breakdowns up early. I didn't speak really glowingly about the game. But I did say I would give it a fair assessment once it released, and here we are a few days later. I'm not going to just rush something out. I've spent a meaningful amount of time with the game, enough to say that in the beginning, first couple games, I played it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was worth a purchase if I had purchased it, though I didn't. But after you go 5, 6, 7 games in, you really do get the feeling that you are playing the same game you have been playing because all of these things start to become second nature. Yes, it's nice that the bases are bigger. Yes, it's nice that the pitch clock is in. Yes, it's nice there's a storyline. But I will say, just as I did before, what they're putting in the game now is very specific. Right? When you look at the female players, I feel like that's very catered toward a female demographic. Most people may not want to go start up the game with a female player. I'm glad that it's there, but it's not a selling point for everyone. The Derek Jeter storyline, which seems like it was held over from last year when he was the captain version of the game, right? It's great that it's there. The way they've went in, and I've played a little bit of it, the way they've replicated the storylines, the way visually everything is done is fantastic. But guess what? The Yankees are one of the least liked teams in baseball, and there's a lot of fans that aren't going to go through the Derek Jeter experience because they just don't care to play as a New York Yankee. And to be honest, there's no real overwhelming story. There's no real accomplishment with that. The Yankees bought a very good team. They didn't really have a lot of obstacles to overcome, and they dominated. That's really not what a gamer, I think, goes for. I think a gamer wants a challenge. I think a gamer wants to experience, the underdog. I don't think a lot of times the gamer just wants to walk into one of the best scenarios you can and play through it because there's no struggle. There's really no, you know, relatability to it, if you will. And I understand those storylines aren't done yet. They're going to obviously release more as the game patches, but at the same time, what they put out now feels like a capable standalone, but at the same time, it doesn't really leave you wanting more or feeling unsatisfied with where the story mode ended. It's just, are people going to continue to play this game 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the road? I will, because I'm kind of a hardcore gamer, but at the same time, I don't know that everyone else will. And just to kind of close things out here, if you have not played the Negro League story modes in this game, or you have not watched them, you need to do yourself a massive favor and go do so. Because to me, more than anything else, when they go through the president of the museum and he's telling the stories and he's explaining the trials, the tribulations, the setback, the challenges, the human element of what breaking the color barrier meant, what those players had to go through, it is absolutely astonishing to see the passion and the love and the reverence he has, not just for the men and women that did that, but for what the sport of baseball did. And when you make something with passion, when you have people involved that have a willingness and an eagerness to make something the best they can make it, then you end up with a quality product. And to me, when you watch those modes, it's probably more evident than any other game mode that they have people there that want to tell a story. They want to share their love of the game and they want to express that through a video game. And when you have that, you can make a really special product. But when you don't have that, you make a really poor product. And I think that's one of the things that's really set as far as simulation sports go. This game, aside from Madden, because I don't feel like Madden right now has the same people there that care, that want to make the best game possible, that want to deliver the best product possible. I feel like all the efforts are put towards, almost microtransactions and micromanagement of their gamers and not really setting a game out that's going to appeal to everyone. I think that a lot of times with EA, they push you into one game mode. Every game advertisement is for Madden Ultimate Team. With the show, I feel like they still, even though they are getting away from it, try to cater towards every single gamer, whether you're a franchise gamer, whether you want to go online, whether you want to do Road to the Show, whether you want to do the storylines. And honestly, as far as, no money spent is concerned, they provide a very good value if you're going to go online and engage in a trading card esque video game. I think there's really between Madden and San Diego Sports to kind of walk that fine line of, what is gambling with sports card packs digitally and what is providing a quality user experience. But to me, again, you could go in this game and be competitive and not spend a dollar and not have to grind out games for 5 days. Whereas with EA, I feel like you have to spend money or grind out games to be competitive right away because they really haven't set that same cap, on the elite players available day one, which kind of dilute the game down. So I know kind of tried to touch on everything there, not in great detail, but just to close this out again, to me, the game this year, first time in a long time, not worth a purchase for me. I'm glad that I can get it through Game Pass. And I also feel like we're getting very, very close on a slippery slope of the game is not changing enough each year to even warrant a purchase in a time where it should have had a lot of change between two major rules being put in the game, even if it was a year late, and just not seeing a real difference in those changes. Love to know your guys' thoughts on this. Appreciate you watching this video. You know I will be back tomorrow with more comments.